It's Bonner again. One of the things I get asked about frequently is how do I strum softer when I'm using a pick, okay? So I'm going to give you 4 quick tips to help you have greater control over your sound and in particular your dynamics when you're playing with a pick, when you're strumming. Number 1 is the pick, okay? The pick you choose has an impact on how much control you have and the sound you're going to get, the whole works. I strongly recommend using a 0.5 millimeter pick. It's quite soft, not floppy, but relatively soft, and that softness gives you a little more control. Tip number 2 is where you strum. Where you strum on your guitar has a dramatic impact on the volume and the tone of your strumming. So if I'm playing up here, near the bottom of the neck, or even over the bottom of the neck, I get a much smoother sound. If I strum back here, it's like turning up the treble control and even turning up the volume a little. I get this much louder, with the same pressure, I get this much louder and much more percussive sound. You can hear the difference in the sound. And in the middle, it's about halfway in between. Okay, so a simple way to implement this and practice this is when you're playing a song, when you're practicing a song, try playing up in this zone, try playing in the middle, and try playing at the back. And you're going to find that for different songs, you may want to play in each of these different areas, but you need to know what they sound like, practice with them. Okay, tip number 3 is how do I actually strum? And how we strum is, or the sound we get and the volume we get is also impacted by the angle of the pick. So as a general rule, to be able to control your strumming volume and intensity, you want to try dragging your pick when it's coming down, drag it down at quite a steep angle, like this. And when you're coming up, drag it up at the opposite angle. So you're getting used to this motion in your wrist is happening. I'm going down, I'm coming up. All I'm doing is rotating my wrist. And here's what I'm doing, you know. Practice strumming like that with quite a steep angle. And when you make your angle less steep, you're going to notice that the sound of the strum is much stronger if your pick stays perpendicular. And sometimes we want that extra clarity, but generally speaking, we do want more control over smoothness. So angle down, angle back. Wax on, wax off. Tip number 4 is how hard am I strumming? Okay, so if I'm strumming with a lot of downward pressure and I'm letting the pick go deep on the guitar, I'm going to get this sound. Okay, if I try to strum with a gentler motion, as if I'm just gently brushing the strings, like brushing them with a feather, you're going to get this sound. So a good way to work on dynamics in general is to practice high dynamics, medium dynamics, low dynamics. Don't get any more fussy than that. So you want to say, okay, I'm going to try playing as soft as I can first, lowest dynamics. Now I'm going to try making that a little more intensity. I'm going to strum a little bit harder. Keep my speed the same. I'm just going to try strumming a little bit harder. Now I'm going to strum at maybe 70% of my full strength. I'm going to strum fairly firmly. Go through the same exercise several times and make note of the difference in sound. You have to educate yourself as to the motion you're making and the result that arrives in your ears. So those are 4 strumming tips to help you take control over your dynamics. Remember, the hardest thing to get used to when you're learning to play any instrument is playing softly. As a beginner, the default is normally to play quite loud or louder than necessary. So you already have a high level dynamic under control, more or less, although you're not necessarily controlling it yet. If you learn to play at a very soft dynamic, now you have two dynamics instead of one dynamic.